Hey everyone, it's Marish. I'm putting this video up to help you get through a few more balancing chemical equations. This is the worksheet that is referenced in the first video I did. It's also the reference in the Google Classroom assignment I have up right now. So when you click on it in Moodle, it brings you here. There are a lot of beginner or novice questions. Then we go on to intermediate. And finally we get to expert. We're going to progress through all of these levels, but right now we're just going to concentrate on these novice ones. In the first video, I did these two questions. Today, I'm going to do these two questions, and then I'm going to go back into Moodle and show you how to enter your answers to get credit. So let's get started. Let me just make this screen look a little better. Here, I have put up one of the balanced equations from the other day. It's the first equation on this worksheet. The video also has this equation, so I'd go back and look for that. But today, let's do this. So I have Na plus O2 yielding Na2O2. We balance chemical reactions to make sure we're obeying the law of conservation of matter, which states that you cannot create or destroy matter, so nothing can be gained or lost in a chemical reaction. And if you look at this reaction and what's occurring, my sodium reacting with oxygen has created an extra sodium that wasn't over here. And that's not possible. So what we have to do in chemistry is balance this equation so that we are obeying that law. And a balanced equation will show the same number of sodiums on both sides and the same number of oxygens on both sides. Right now, we have one sodium here, two oxygens here, two sodiums here, and two oxygens here. So I have more sodiums on one side than the other. The way we fix this is by adding coefficients to our equation. And a coefficient is a number you put in front of a symbol to increase its quantity. It's basically a number you put in front to multiply things. Over here I have two sodiums, so over here I also need to have two sodiums. I'm going to multiply sodium times 2. That's my coefficient 2. When I put a 2 here, it changes my amount of sodiums to 2. I have two oxygens, still have two oxygens, so those are good. And my sodiums are now equal on both sides, so this reaction has been balanced. In Moodle, you need to put 1s if you don't put a number there. So I don't put a 2 there, I should put a 1 there, right? So I got to put a number to fill it. So that one is balanced. The next one, N2 plus O2 yielding N2O5. This one looks a little trickier. So let's dissect it. Here, two nitrogens, two oxygens. Here, two nitrogens, but 5 oxygens. One thing you'll notice about doing chemical reactions and trying to balance them, when you have an odd number, that really sucks. It makes balancing more complicated. So what we do, when we see odd numbers, once we know what we have on both sides, if I have an odd number, I would like it to be even. And the way I make this even is by multiplying 5 times 2. The way I multiply this by 2 is by putting a 2 in front of the symbol, because this right here is one thing. I can't do this and just multiply the oxygen with that 2. I can't do this because I have touched a hot number, so that can't work and that can't work. So what I have to do is put a 2 in front to basically multiply this whole symbol. Not that symbol, this symbol. By putting a 2 in front, I've made that into 4, and I've made that into 10. They're both even numbers. Even numbers are much easier to balance than odd numbers. So let's go to the other side and see what we have to do. So by changing my oxygen from 5 to 10, I have also changed my nitrogen. So I'm going to go over here and see that nitrogen is 2. That should now be a 4. So I'll put a 2 here. 2 times 2 is 4. So my nitrogens are now balanced. The last thing I see is this oxygen. I went from 5 to 10. Over here I only have 2. So in order to increase this 2 to 10, I have to multiply this by 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Now I have 2, 5, and 2. The same number of nitrogens on both sides. The same number of oxygens on both sides. This reaction is now balanced. Let's go into Moodle and figure out how to answer these questions for credit. So in our Moodle screen, we have this, Level 1 Novice Problems. This is everything from that worksheet and only the novice problems. I'm going to go into a preview mode. This is my screen, so it's a little different than what you will see. But Moodle's very, very slow. There we go. Now, there are numbers in here from when I was making this worksheet, so let me get rid of those. So here is where you're going to put your answers. On the questions we answered today, these two, we're going to put in the numbers we put there. And this is that first equation I showed you here. So this equation has a 2, a 1, and a 2. So here, a 2, a 1, and a 2. The next one, which is this one right here, it's a 2, a 1, and a 1. 2, 1, 1. And the last reaction we did today is the one right below it, 2, 5, 2. See if those are correct. And I see that we entered everything correctly, and we got those answers right. Now, when you do this, you have as many attempts as you need to get your answers. So here's the attempt we just did. I'm going to preview the quiz now. My answers from before are still in there. So if I did something like this, and I'm trying to balance this, and I get like 3, 8, and 4, right? That's totally wrong. But if I submit this, my right answers from the first time are still there. This is wrong. So on my worksheet, where I'm working, where I'm doing my work, write down the part I got right, try and fix the ones I got wrong. When you start a new review, those questions are gone because they were wrong, and we can do it the right way. I think that's right. Why not? Let's try it. Now everything's right, and those questions will be there, and they will be saved. So you just work your way through them until they all show up correct. And that's how you're going to get credit for this. So I hope this was informative, and I hope I don't sound like a fool when I'm talking. But good luck. Keep trying. If you have specific problems with these, let me know, and I will try to make another short video to help you out. Have a good day. Good luck.